Hello everybody, welcome back again to the Decode, a podcast series by Zoo. Joining us in the conversation we have Arpit Billore, the product evangelist at True, would be helping us understand eSigns and eStamps. So let's get started. Hello Arpit, welcome to the Decode.
Hi Gitya, thank you so much for having me.
So let us begin decoding a very interesting topic, eSigns and eStamps. So to begin with, just help us know how are eSigns and eStamps different from their physical counterparts?
Okay. So when we talk about eSign and eStamp, these are the simplest way of executing an agreement digitally. If I take a simplest example, consider rental agreement.
Okay.
So the landlord has to carry the physical copy of the agreement. He has to go all the way to some vendor shop to get the stamp paper, and then the landlord and the tenant has to come to a place physically to sign that agreement. So this is used to happen back then, say 5 or 10 years back. In some places it is happening now also because of the awareness. But when it comes to digital signature and digital stamping, just on a click of a button, you can execute the rental agreement. You just have to give the party details, the stamp paper will be available to you. You have to upload the agreement in the digital form. The stamp paper will be attached to the document, and the signature link will be available on your WhatsApp. So just on a clicking of that, the complete document will be executed. Now here, if we say how it is different from physical and the digital, earlier you used to travel. So convenience plays a vital role here. Earlier you used to travel, spend some time and then execute it. Now you don't have to travel anyway. You just click on, everybody is available on WhatsApp. So click on the link and the document will be executed. And both the party will have their executed document either on the email or on the WhatsApp.
Well, that is really impressive to know how we have reduced the time which was previously invested in the procurement of a sign or a stamp. So I wanted to understand, there are a lot of companies for digital signatures, but I see very less companies that are involved for eStamps. So how does this ecosystem work, and why is there so less inclination towards eStamps?
Okay, so if we talk about eSignature, it is pretty straightforward. You can build a technology around it. In-house also, and then you can start selling it. There is no dependency on the government. Obviously, there are certain bodies who controls it.
Yeah.
But compared to stamping, it is quite straightforward. Now, when it comes to stamping, there are multiple bodies who are involved into it. First of all, when we talk about the stamping, it is a state subject. So every state has their own way of being stamped. So consider an example of Maharashtra where only physical stamp paper is available.
Okay.
So the vendor, the state government has appointed certain vendors who are authorized to give the stamp paper.
Okay.
In India, anybody cannot sell the stamp paper. So there are authorized vendors. Now these vendors are appointed by state government. I will be going to these vendors, purchasing the stamps in physical format and then using it for the execution. There is another way of looking into it, such as considering a state such as Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. These states have the eStamp in place, which means government has already started investing into digitalization of the stamping. So if we consider around 29 states and 7 union territories, good amount of states are digital and some of the states are physical. Considering that, the complete ecosystem is quite unstructured. Okay. Because there are dependencies on the register office, dependencies on the vendors, and dependencies on the technology also. If any business wants to do e-stamping vertical, they have to have a large vendor base so that the requirement will be catered.
Okay.
Considering these challenges, because in e-signature there is no vendor base required, whereas for stamping, to purchase stamp paper, you will have to have the vendor in each state. So this is quite challenging and quite unstructured, and that's the reason most of the companies are not into eStamp space, or rather they are into eSignature space. But in Zoo, we are into eStamp space and currently giving services in 29 states and 7 union territories.
So Arpit, as we have been talking about government bodies, definitely there would be norms and regulations around eSigns and eStamps as well. Yeah. So help us understand these norms.
Okay, so if I talk about eSignature, there is a Signature Act 2000, IT Act 2000 we usually called, which government has introduced in the year 2000. So it was just an introductory awareness that government wanted to spread, that we can do the signature digitally as well. But people were quite not aware of it, they were not confident on it, and that's the reason it was not adapted. But as the amendment comes into picture, like from 2002, 2000 to 2002 to 2006, 2008, 2016, and now we are in 2025, e-signature has evolved in such a way that I think almost all the bigger businesses are using it because it is convenient and it helps in scalability as well. When it comes to government bodies, there is a government body called as CCA, Controller of Certified Authority, who generally appoints ESP, that is eSign Service Provider. These are the bodies, these ESPs have authority to sell the signatures. When we talk about signatures, there are three ways of doing it. One is Aadhaar based, one is electronic signature, and third one is DSE signature. Electronic signature is used worldwide, and obviously they have every country has their norms, rules and regulations. But when it comes to Aadhaar as well as GST, it is used in India because Aadhaar is an identity which is used for each and every individual. So if you want to identify a person and then do the signature, Aadhaar is the best example to do that. So this is about the e-signature. When it comes to e-stamping, there is the Indian Stamp Act 1899, which allows any individual to get the stamp paper. So actually this act helps to streamline the stamp paper. So the vendors are appointed, as I have mentioned, for selling the stamp paper, and any individual can go and take the stamp papers. There is a government body who help Indian government to give the stamp paper digitally, and it is called as Stop Holding Corporation of India.
Okay.
Currently, they are catering approximately 14 states, which includes Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Orissa, so on and so forth. But the challenging part here is every state, as I mentioned, has only a being stamping. So the stationery that comes for printing the stamp paper is from the register office itself.
Okay.
So for some of the states such as Karnataka, you can print the stamp paper in A4 size paper. On the other hand, the states such as Orissa, you will have to get the special stationery from the register office, and then you can print the stamp paper.
Okay. Like all of these mandates definitely align with the fact of keeping this ecosystem secure and fraud free, right? Okay.